Hello, my name is Ortega, and today I will present to you my currency that I made for this year's project. Basically focusing on the fives, the tens, and the $50 bills. So we all know what a currency system is, right? And how it's being used. We basically use it to pay for our bills, for food, for our clothing, for water. Yeah, even we use it for the housing system, like for phones and electrical bills too. But do we even know how they look like too, or how it's being made? Well, luckily for us, we get to talk about how we basically design our own currencies for this case. In this case, we'll be starting off with the $5 bills. As you can see, the $5 bill here has Tom Hanks representing for the five, being shown as the person who will be happy, caring, and someone who you respecting people around them. It's just like the Statue of Liberty on the backside of the bill, where that one represents freedom and liberty. See, Tom Hanks and the Statue of Liberty work so well together that they basically give out balances to each other's. However, if they're for Tom Hanks' background, I give him like a yellow rounded rectangle right there. Give him more a brightness behind him. For the $10 bill, however, I went with Gabriel Iglesias, the most famous stand-up comedian who give people a chance to laugh, oh, make them cry a bit too, and make them feel happy too, that be wanted. Well, he basically does good about stand-up comedies and almost did and did some good shows too, like in movies. I went with the backside of the bill for 10, the Chinese theater in North Hollywood, California. Now these two actually work so well together that they basically come in to do a show, like for watching movies or listen to other things or watch performances. Yeah, but in fact, for Gabriel Iglesias, I did a in his little frame around him in the back. I did around a yellow ellipse right there from to show that he is basically glowing with light and fun. However, for the $50 bill, I went with something more historical right there. I went with Davy Crockett, the man who actually was in the Alamo. And speaking about the Alamo, you guys see that in the backside of the bills, where both he represents the freedom of our own country, who also fought against the Mexican Revolution, Mexican American War, in order to free this part of our Texas side. Now, for the bill, however, let's just say I kind of went with a particular type of setup for that one, like for the for whole background for it. So for the background of this whole bill, I went with a light blue swirl lines for the back, going like around, like going like around each other, like a circle, for example. However, for the numbering system on it, like the five, the tens, and the 50, I went with a different type of. I went with something called a Bodani right there. As for the lettering system and the serial numbers, like the fonts, for example, I went with Perpetua titling. Now, you may think these two look almost identical to each other, but they're not really identical. They have different looks to them. Like the five right there, it has a little teardrop right there in the back, while the while the lettering does not. So back to the whole thing. The when they put the colors for the Bodais, starting with the five, I did like a green for that one. For the 10, for the 10 on the Bodani, I did a yellow for that. And for the 50 of the Bodani, it's in black. However, for the fonts for like so I'm saying for the five, the and the United States, which is basically being represented for where the currency is being used, I went with a red for that one. For the $10 right there, I went with green. And as for the 50, the orange. Now, the biggest thing that we don't forget is the billing decoder right there, where it's basically being used and being made at. So in this case, the billing decoder has the letter A in it, where it's basically being made in New York. Plus, I can make sure it basically matches with the dollar system right there that's being shown. So yeah, not to mention for the whole thing, I for like the character, the persons and the places, I did like a darken to it, darken or multiplier to it. But I think darken works much more better to show it being pressed in there into the currency. So yeah, this currency system, however, is basically shown to you in a way that being made. Like it takes time to create stuff like this, and we can basically use it to for anything we like. Heck, you can even use it as a background, like for anything, or keep it in the safe too. But we also remember that it can be used for currencies, and I don't want to forget that part too. So yeah, this is my presentation for the currencies I made, being for like the 5, the 10, and the 50. And I'd like to thank you all for listening to my presentation, and I hope you have a wonderful holiday and a Merry Christmas too. Well, again, thank you very much for listening.